What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Craig. We're going to be going over the charts in a second, but first I just want to say I am thoroughly impressed by what Doge is doing. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. I know different medias are twisting it different ways, but in all reality, the truth is pretty obvious in my opinion. Let me know yours if it differs, but anyways, let's get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the 10-year yield, then the DXY. Look at our targets we've been looking at. Also, if this market crashes, why does everybody think it's doom and gloom when people say a market's going to crash? When that happens, it's the biggest opportunities that you can find. Is you get things in the markets for super cheap. Finding the bottom's the hardest part, other than finding the top. But the biggest opportunity comes in a crash. If you think differently, leave your comments down below, because a lot of times when people are holding into market euphoria, they think they're getting rich, they're seeing all this unrealized profit, and it disappears quickly, very quickly. We've seen it over and over in the crypto market. And I think we're going to see it again pretty soon. And I think this might be a lot worse than all the prior little mini bear markets. And I'm going to show you why in the charts. So let's get into it, guys. For those of you that have been watching, we were looking for this target here on the 10-year yield. Now, if this holds, right? Now, we got to put up our next target where we're looking for this. So we got our bounce, which obviously all the markets came down Friday. We got our bounce like we expected. And I told you if this goes up, going to bring the markets down, right? But let's say we get up to this 457 and get rejected again, only to come back down. This being a possible head and shoulders with a target of around 4.2. That will mean one more market pump, which will go along and coincide in one of the Wyckoff distribution charts I'm going to show you for Bitcoin. But we'll see what happens. If this holds and we blow back above this, then that's possibly the top is in for everything. And I mean everything. But we'll see what happens there. We'll be definitely keeping a close eye on that. Stick around. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up. Leave your comments. Leave your thoughts on the markets. Do you think we have a lot higher to go? Do you think they're topped? Hit 1 if you think we got higher to go. Hit 2 if they're topped. Hit 3 if you don't know. Hit 4 if you just don't care. Anyways, let's take a look at the DXY. So DXY, same thing. We were watching right here. We have a lower low in the RSI on the weekly, a higher low right here. That is hidden bullish divergence, right? Although there's still a possibility we come down to this level here, which would show a bigger divergence. But if we do continue our pop up from here to that 113 level in the coming months or coming weeks, it's going to be pretty fun ride, guys, because this going up will probably mean the market's coming down pretty bad. Anyways, now let's get into Bitcoin. But before we do, you guys haven't checked out PrimeXBT or BITUNIX, both sponsor the channel. PrimeXBT I love because you can trade traditional markets, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, crypto, everything, all from one exchange. And by using my link down below, you can get up to a $7,000 bonus, 25% off your trading fees. BITUNIX, they don't do the traditional markets, but a lot more of the altcoins, meme coins, things like that on BITUNIX. Definitely check them out. Both of them, I have links down below, and by using my links, you get special bonuses. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the 4 hours. So this was our target from a couple weeks ago where we wicked through it, came back up. I told you to look for a bounce there. It was at 92.8 is where we had it marked. These aren't exact, right? I always put the price in the middle of your range, right? And right here, we did get in our range just a little bit. But the fib, the 0.236 fib is what we're looking at. And I told you, whenever you break one of these, so if you break this fib, your chances are you're getting down to this 91.18 again, which is right here. And if that low breaks, you've got a lot lower to go. And we'll take a look at it in the daily where that might go. But those of you that are familiar with my EMA strategy, this yellow line right here is your 55 EMA. Then you have your red line, which is an 8 EMA. Your white line, which is 13, your blue line, which is 21. When they all cross, like they did right here, and open and close below the 8 EMA, like it did right here, right? After the cross is here, you had to open and close below. That's a sell signal. And In that, you don't stop your short or buy back in until they all cross over again, which they have not. So you would safely still be in a short right here. And let's take a look at the daily, and let's look at the EMAs on the daily, see where that's lining up, and then we'll take a look at that Wyckoff distribution. If you guys know anything about Wyckoff and you look at these charts and you see something different than me, you let me know. Anyways, looking at the EMAs right now, so obviously if it keeps going down, then our EMAs, our smaller ones especially, are going to keep moving down, right? Your 8 EMA is getting ready to cross your 55. Is that a sell signal? No. Although you've had your sell signal in the 4 hour, right? The 13 EMA isn't even touching yet. But if this continues down, these are going to cross over. And if we get a daily sell signal, you might get the same thing just like you got there. It'd be a good place to sell. You'll probably get a bounce off your 200 EMA, about 85 or so. Maybe come back up, test that 55 just like it did in the 4 hour. Let me bring you back to the 4 hour. I hope you are following along with this. The EMA strategy made me a ton of money, guys. I've made a short video on it years ago. It's still on my channel. I'm sure if you type in a search for EMA strategy, it'll come up. But anyways, right now we're still opening and closing below the 4 hour here. But like I said, you got your sell signal up here, came back up, kind of wicked above. Well, you got above for a little while, right? A few hours above the 55 EMA, but came crashing right back down. And you could see that on the daily, right? So no emotion. You're going to trade a strategy, trade the strategy. Okay. Now let's take a look at, and guys, always remember, none of this is financial advice. If you're trading, don't follow anyone's advice. Not mine, not the bulls, not anybody's, right? Watch them all. Come up with your own strategy and trade with it. Don't trade with Joe Schmoes. Don't trade with Crypto Savvy. Just because I made a trade don't mean you have to, right? So a good trader knows that you're going to lose trades. You're going to lose a lot of trades. The thing is to use risk management and lower your risk, right? Risk 1% to gain 20%. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't start trading yet. Start playing with it. Set up a fake mock account. You can do that in Prime XBT with fake money and, trade and get a strategy going. All right. Okay. I keep veering off. Sorry, guys. So this is what I'm looking at on the daily, right? We have alternate touches. We have a hit to the low, hit to the high, hit to the low, right? So if this is a triangle forming, right? We could be, if we break down, right? People aren't going to like to hear this, but if we break down, this is going to be your target range. Going to be a target range, right? And I'll give you the center of the range, not the exact penny target. Center of the range, right? About 70,000. If we zoom out and look at where that lines up, let's stretch that range real quick. Whoa, what happened there? You can see where all the support and resistance is there, right? So it would make sense because there is no real support in here. That would make sense to drop down to that 70. And that doesn't mean it drops down in a day. Let me stress that. This is a daily chart. This could take weeks, months maybe, if it was to happen. But for it to start happening, 92.2 is about the range you want to see break. Actually, to be safe, just say 92,000. If it breaks to 92,000 and holds, that means you open and close a daily below that 92,000, then you're most likely coming down to this level. Of course, like I said, you'll get a bounce on this 200 EMA, about 85, 86, depending on where it's at when it goes. Maybe come back up for a retest and then continue down. Now, if it breaks up from here, right, then what do we look for? Possibly up to, you can see I had these fibs on here. I had the Fibonacci extension on here, looking at this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? And that would bring you up to that 125-ish range. That is still a possibility, although until this Wyckoff distribution, schematic 1 or 2 is this, I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry, guys. Saturdays, don't usually make videos on Saturdays. But anyways, unless this is invalidated, right? Schematic 1 and 2, which I'm going to show you both now. Let's pull up what it looks like. So here's Wyckoff schematic number 1, right? You had your buying climax over here. You had your up thrust right here. If we're going to get another high, that's going to be between 112 and 117. Could that 126 get in there? Possibly, but what I'm looking at is how perfectly this is playing out. Now, I told you, after we came down to this low where I said 92.8 range, which we dipped below that, wicked below it, right? That we would play around in this area, and that's right here, right? Play around in this area for possibly a couple weeks, possibly a month, before continuing up for that last high. If we're in schematic number 1, right? If it's going to play out like schematic number 1, and then we have a deep bear market. But if it plays out like schematic number 2, what would that look like? Let's pull that up now. That would say we have already topped, right? And here's that section we're in right now, right here, right? Right here, right here. Now that would, the Wyckoff number 1, schematic number 1 would be a pretty impulsive major move up. Now, if we start getting little pullbacks, right, like this, that would mean this was probably the top, and it would be a good time to put a short in at this 106 to 107,000 range, right? And then continue down. Now, if we break this low here, 88.8, about 88,800, we break that low there, this is all invalidated, both, and we are just most likely topped out and going to continue down from here, right? But if we're going to play out one of these schematics, we still get back up to at least that 106, 107 range again before falling. That's what I'm watching. Like I said, I'll keep detailed updates. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure your notification bells are ticked. I will be posting videos more regularly this year, like I talked about. And let me know in below how long you've been watching me, how long you've been around. I'm real curious to see how many people are sticking around through the thick and thin to really get a hold on these markets and waiting on the biggest opportunity of our lifetime, even if it takes another year or so. When this comes crashing down, we're going to make a ton of money, just like we do every time the market comes down. But anyways, take it easy, guys. Smash those likes, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to share the video if you would. Take it easy.